Looking at this aerial view of the Johannesburg skyline, the city's immediate infrastructure priorities come into sharp focus. On March 25, 2026, Johannesburg City Parks and Zoo issued a high-priority request for quotation to address a specific urban gap. Zooming in on the Alexandra township, the density of the housing underscores an acute need for functional public spaces. The target location is the Alexandra Far East Bank. The tender, officially referenced as JCPZ/RFQ/CID22/2025, allocates a declared project budget of approximately 4 million rand. That 4 million rand explicitly covers stages 1 through 6 of professional project development services, taking the project from initial inception all the way through to final handover. This time-lapse visualization illustrates the primary administrative constraint, a strictly enforced 19-day window from the advertisement date to the final closing. A standard municipal landscaping approach will not secure this contract. The requirements dictate a highly specialized consortium capable of executing complex urban integration. Winning this 4 million rand allocation requires firms to simultaneously deconstruct the physical scope of the park and navigate a rigid municipal compliance matrix, all before the window closes. The winning bidders must solve a specific topographical problem, an underutilized flood-prone river corridor running through Alexandra. This 3D topographical map highlights the foundational layer of the required design. Civil and structural engineering must secure the base with new walkways, public access routes, and robust flood control mechanisms. Adding to that same topography, heavy-use community recreation zones are placed directly on top of the civil base. The mandate specifies a 5-a-side soccer field and a basketball court. Next, a third layer of green zones appears. This involves comprehensive landscaping, tree planting, and vital ecological enhancements designed to stabilize the riverbank. Finally, this glowing digital mesh overlay maps out the smart city integration. The park requires a network of public Wi-Fi hotspots and smart lighting arrays to ensure utility after dark. These distinct design elements must operate concurrently. The smart lighting arrays, for example, must be explicitly engineered to survive the localized flood events common to the specific river corridor. The objective is a safe, fully accessible, and multifunctional urban space. Aesthetic upgrades alone will fail the technical evaluation. Because the park operates as an integrated system of systems, the tender strictly demands overlapping concurrent design expertise to prevent structural or ecological failure. Due to the overlapping physical complexities of the site, Johannesburg City Parks and Zoo has strictly mandated a multidisciplinary team structure. Sole practitioners or single-focus engineering firms attempting to bid alone will be immediately disqualified from the process. This 3-part diagram begins with spatial design. The first required expert node is a registered landscape architect, responsible for mapping the spatial, ecological, and urban design elements. The second overlapping node introduces the mandatory requirement for a civil engineer, registered with ESAC, the Engineering Council of South Africa. The ESAC engineer is legally required to sign off on structural integrity, hydrology management, and safe tie-ins to existing municipal infrastructure. The third and final circle in this structure belongs to an environmental practitioner, registered with EPASA, the Environmental Assessment Practitioners Association of South Africa. The EPASA practitioner handles the regulatory approvals, executes environmental compliance checks, and manages the vital public stakeholder engagement process. To solve this requirement structurally, independent firms must legally bind these distinct professionals into joint ventures or consortia to present a single unified bid. Assembling this exact roster, a landscape architect, an ECSA engineer, and an EA-PASA practitioner, is the prerequisite for entering the formal evaluation phase. Technical capability and professional registration mean nothing without passing the rigid municipal compliance funnel. This filtration funnel illustrates the exact administrative sequence. Bids must clear mandatory baseline hurdles: active central supplier database registration, valid COIDA certification for occupational injuries, and flawless tax compliance status. The municipality also places a strict financial risk allocation directly onto the bidding entity. Dropping into the bottom of that same funnel is the financial safeguard. The consortium must carry professional indemnity insurance of at least 5 million rand to qualify for review.
For the bids that survive this funnel, the ultimate scoring mechanism is the 80-20 preferential procurement system. The math is straightforward. 80 points are awarded purely for price competitiveness regarding the 4 million rand project budget. This visual breakdown of the scoring shows the remaining 20% isolating specific empowerment criteria. The tender focuses heavily on women-owned enterprise participation to award these critical margins. You could submit the most technically sound engineering proposal possible, but if the consortium's equity structure does not optimize for that 20-point preferential margin, the bid will fail at the final hurdle. Structuring the winning bid requires the exact same level of precision as the engineering project itself. The optimal strategy involves mapping joint venture partnerships to solve the physical requirements of the riverbank while aligning with the 80-20 equity math simultaneously. This timeline begins March 25th. The first node hits April 7th with the compulsory site briefing. Bidders must arrive with a defined consortium structure. Then, a hard stop on April 13th at noon, the unyielding deadline for physical delivery to the Braamfontein tender box. This request for quotation provides a fully funded, well-defined entry point into Johannesburg's lucrative municipal infrastructure delivery pipeline. For firms capable of rapid, collaborative consortium building, the Alexandra Park tender requires simultaneous mastery of technical design and municipal procurement strategy.